Well, hey everyone, it's Sean again, and I'm doing this video to clarify something about that video I just did on the shadow work and the shadow. Because I realized there was a couple of comments that maybe to that video, maybe realized there was something I didn't say that would have been helpful to help clarify what I was talking about there. And I'm speaking from my experience and understanding through my studies and practices with the Course in Miracles. And these videos are really going to be related to that and talking about that. I'll be doing most of the videos I'm doing are on actual Course content. But the shadow work, I just wanted to share that video to kind of give us a better understanding about what the shadow is and maybe how to see it in a different way so that can be helpful and healing to us. And so what I didn't mention was that in A Course in Miracles, that why Jesus gave us A Course in Miracles is not to enlighten us per se, but it's really about, most of it is about learning how to look at the ego and its thought system, which the shadow is a symbol of that, is kind of a metaphor for the ego and the thought system. And so at some point we have to be willing just to look at it, to see it as it is and not how we wish it to be, because the ego is what A Course in Miracles says, just all it is what we wish to be true. And you can kind of use that same thing with the shadow. It's just what we wish to be true, and we make it real to us, whether it be the shadow self, the shadows, the monsters lurking in the shadows, and all the things that all this is happening in our mind. And these shadow figures I was talking about in that other video, those are just past grievances, so to speak, that we give them a life and keep them in our mind, bringing the past to the present moment. And that just projecting over the present moment, so all we're perceiving are those shadows of the past. But like I said, at some point we have to be willing just to look at the ego's thought system. So you could say shadow work is but do we need to work on that? There's nothing in A Course in Miracles says you need to look at the ego thought system and then work on it. No, it's just to see it what it is, and then begin this process of redirecting the attention of your mind away from the illusion which is what shadows are. They're just an illusion, back towards reality. And so, that takes work, and that takes what Jesus says. We have to be very vigilant against mind wandering, because the ego is just so clever at pulling our attention back to it, and this belief that in separation, and we're perceiving a world and universe of separation, and then act out on that. And those, I would say that's a way you can use the shadow as a metaphor for that thought system of separation and all the shadow figures that seem to be separate, and everything and everyone seems to be separate, when in truth, as we are created by spirit, as spirit, and spirit can never be separate, but in dreams of separation, we can make it seem very real to us. So be willing to just look at, the ego's thought system. If that's what you think is shadow work, okay, be willing to look at it and do the work that requires us to redirect our mind towards truth, towards the light, towards, the voice for the light, which we call, in A Course in Miracles, it's referred to as the Holy Spirit, but it's called by many other names. You can call it intuition, divine guidance, spirit. It's called the Comforter also in the Course. It's called the Universal Translator. There are many names for it, but it is a voice for God, whereas the ego is a voice for darkness, for illusion, and for shadows. It's the voice of the shadows, if you want to look at it that way. So I just wanted to share this with you, kind of give you a little clarification to let you know that, I'm not judging against shadow work or anything like that. I'm just pointing out maybe there's a better way of looking at it that can actually be very, very, very helpful to us so that we can begin to redirect our mind towards the truth, towards the light of truth. So anyway, that's it for this one, and I hope that helps. So y'all be good to each other, okay? And I'll see you in the next video.